I'm very excited. It's a dream eating session for me.
Searching high and low for some gluten-free options on campus? We've brought in an expert.
Hi everyone.
Welcome to Food for Thought at Curtin, where we get to know some of the best food options around campus. I'm your host, Jess.
And I'm Georgia.
And today, Georgia has kindly recommended some of her go-to gluten-free options on campus. Let's go. So the foods today are ones that you've recommended. Are you celiac or just gluten-free by choice?
Back when I was about 13, the whole family got the test basically, and I was diagnosed. So I had to go cold turkey from just eating whatever I wanted to just, now you're not allowed to eat regular food.
Is it hard to find options just out in the world when you're going to restaurants?
One of the most daunting things is when someone invites you to a place that you've never been. It's always really hard to see yourself as I'm going to be the problem in the group. It is getting a lot better though, and most places nowadays have one or two at least options. The options I've chosen today are some of my favorites for just survival on campus.
Let's have a go and try some of the foods.
Dream eating session.
First up, we've got the nachos from the Tab. Let's dig in.
Very exciting. Oh, I just got the jalapenos. It's a good wake me up, that's for sure.
They're not super spicy, but they definitely give that like added element, especially when you've got all that meat underneath as well, and the melted cheese. Who doesn't love some good melted cheese?
My favorite. If you want like a pick-me-up that's like a bit greasy, but it's still got quite light elements with like the guac and the sour cream.
And the guac is really like lemony. It's got a really nice zing to it. It complements the nachos so well. So what are you studying and what do you hope to do with that in the future?
I'm doing a double degree in mechatronic engineering and computer science. Obviously going into engineering, you hear a lot about it being a very male-dominated industry, and coming from an all-girls school is not a very easy transition. Something that I think is really important is to make sure that we're all showing ourselves in the industry and kind of encouraging more women who are scared to join engineering to kind of see that it is a welcome space. And you're forming some good relationships that will help improve for future.
That sounds like a worthy cause. So next up, we've got Heart and Soul noodle cups from IGA. You've got the pho and I've got the laksa. Let's dig in. Oh, that's a great flavor. It's not that spicy. So if you like a spicy laksa, probably not for you, but if you're more of I like the flavor of laksa without the heat. The noodles themselves are a great consistency as well. They're not like falling apart on me. What's the flavor of yours like?
So this one is a classic beef, a bit of spice in there. I've gone on a bit of a quest, and the gluten-free noodle cup quest is a terrible quest to go down, and this is the best one I've found. Their flavors are just so much more like natural, so it's a great one to just kind of shove in your bag as like a backup option. You can just heat it up in hot water anywhere.
How do you go about finding the gluten-free options on campus?
It's definitely something that has gotten easier over time. Obviously spending a lot of time on campus, and also in general there's been a lot of refurbishment and new sort of cafes coming in. There's some great options for a lot of the like healthier stuff. Once you're getting into like more of greasy food territory or like really quick cheap options like burgers and that is when you're struggling a little bit more.
Gluten-free being a health trend, it's like we're not all healthy. Let us eat our bad food indeed.
Let's eat our bad, terrible bar food.
So here we've got the chocolate fudge brownies from Common Ground. Let's have a go. That's such a good brownie. Like that is genuinely one of the best brownies I think I've had in a long time.
It's a great rich brownie, and it's also very stable, which is something you don't get a lot in gluten-free cakes. It's a nice kind of thick texture, so when it gets slightly gooey, it just becomes so soft.
And it's so chocolatey as well. All right, so we've got some bubble tea from the lab. We've both got green tea with rainbow jelly, which is not something I've tried before. So.
Neither. Ooh, it was not what I was expecting, but it's a very like fresh kind of light taste, and the rainbow jelly gives it a good kind of crunchy sort of texture. It always makes your drink feel like it's lasting longer when you have like pearls or jelly. If you want juice but you feel bad about sculling it in 2 minutes.
Yeah, texture in my drinks it's a really nice flavor. I think the sweetness really balances out that kind of more bitter flavor and kind of adds that
Gives
nice
it a
little
bit more of a spark in your mouth.
Yeah. So now that we've tried all of our options, what was your favorite?
I think my favorite's always sweet option, so I always have to say the brownie. And it's such a good brownie that it's something that I could recommend to just anybody.
The best brownie I've had in quite a while, and I ate a few brownies. And the nachos are obviously always incredible.
You can never go wrong with a good greasy set of nachos.
Thanks for watching this episode of Food for Thought at Curtin. See you next time.